Did you know that there is a gut-brain connection? Hi, I'm Dr. O. I'm here at Angelic Lift, and I want to share with you today a question about what is enteric nervous system. So a lot of us actually don't realize that besides the central nervous system, that there is something called the enteric nervous system. Or the easiest way to term this is gut-brain connection. So there is actually a nervous system that connects our gut to our brain. And this is, I believe, one of the reasons that Hippocrates, who is the father of medicine, said that a lot of diseases starts in the gut. Because if you think about it, if anything is wrong with the gut, you just don't feel good. Like there is a connection between that gut and your brain. If you're having like stomach aches, like you're bundled over, you just don't feel great, right? You can't just ignore it and move on and just push through. It really does affect your overall being. This is the reason, right? There is a nervous system that's connected between the gut and the brain. In fact, we now know that a lot of the neurotransmitters or those chemical messengers that the brain uses to address a lot of our emotions, our mood, is actually made in the gut, right? For example, serotonin is synthesized in the gut and then it is transported to the brain. Did you know that? So that is very crucial because if your gut is not functioning well, meaning it's sick all the time, it's irritable all the time, well, guess how your mood is gonna be, okay? So that is one of the things that we usually like to address, that if your gut is feeling great, if all the good bacteria is balanced in there, they're all synthesizing what they're supposed to be synthesizing, the toxins are bound and moving out of your gut, and the gut is able to do what it needs to do, it's making those chemical messengers that the brain needs to function properly. Okay, so this gut-brain connection is linked with a ton of things in our body. It's linked to our hormonal system, right? Because now, once the neurotransmitters or those chemical messengers are working well, they can then signal the part of the brain that needs to release the hormones for our endocrine system, and then our endocrine system is going to then do what it needs to do to make sure that we're balanced in a lot of different ways. So when the gut and the brain are not connected properly, or there's interruption in between them, or there's something that's, toxin that's bothering one or the other, then we're not going to be okay. There's going to be an imbalance in a lot of different places, and we start to see disease, dysfunction, dis-ease, right? So again, gut-brain connection is not just a fancy term that we started coming up with. It has been around, it's been known about. It's just that we're now seeing the science has now evolved enough for us to actually be able to measure these things and actually start to address them, okay? So part of improving, okay, ways to improve your gut-brain connection is to make sure that you are feeding the gut the right nutrients. Right? If you put the right stuff in, the right stuff comes out, right? If you're not giving your gut the right nutrients, well, it cannot synthesize that serotonin. And if it cannot synthesize that serotonin, well, it's not going to send it to the brain. Now, the brain doesn't have that serotonin. Guess what you're going to be feeling is depression. Okay, so now when you're depressed, are you going to eat right? No, you're going to eat the wrong thing because you're trying to get the food that's going to make your mood better. Then you eat the wrong food, and guess what? Your gut gets even sicker. And then what happens? Now a sick gut, again, does not make the right stuff. And then the brain, again, doesn't make the right stuff. And we just continue in this vicious cycle. Okay, so how do we address gut-brain connection? How do we get it better? It starts with putting the right food in, putting the right nutrient in. It includes sleeping well. It includes hydrating well. It includes supplementing right. All right. It includes making sure that we're removing toxins from our body regularly. We're going to the bathroom regularly. If you're constipated, it's a sign that something is off. We need to get that addressed. We need to make sure we're removing toxins through our sweat by exercising. We're removing toxins through our urine, making sure we're urinating enough. Often we're keeping an eye on the color of that urine. Is it clear? Is it, too thick, too dark, too yellow, too brown? Is it foaming? All of those things matter. If the urine is not looking right, again, you're not removing toxins, right? The kidneys are not filtering properly. All these things are connected, right? We are a connected being. We can't leave one area and think that the other one is going to be fine. So those are the things that is important in this gut-brain connection, and something you have to start paying attention to. If you don't know that it exists, now you know. So what do? I just talked about it. Let's start addressing some of these issues, the same issues that we've been talking about in other videos, how to get the thyroid better, how to get your hormones balanced. All these are all connected. So we got to talk about them, we got to address them, and they all very similarly start with the same thing. You eat right, you sleep well, you hydrate. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all the same stuff. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.